Welcome to another fun problem by Martin Tutorials. A quick reminder, I have two YouTubes, Variety and Fun Math. That's all fun and interesting topics for people, as well as some interesting math to interest most people, and Martin Tutorials, which is only mathematics. Both YouTubes are free to subscribe, and as always, if you're not happy with a subscription, the free subscription comes with a full refund policy. On today's question. As today's question is relatively simple, arguably, I plan to send it to both my YouTubes. This is the question. William has coins inside a box. He has only nickels and quarters. We told he's got, and of course nickels are 5-cent coins, quarters are 25-cent coins. He has 29 coins altogether that total $4.45. And the question is, how many nickels and how many quarters does he have? So it's time to tackle that question. So what I do is I let N be the number of nickels and Q be the number of quarters. So that's got nothing to do with the values, the number of coins. So let's pretend these circles are the nickels, and I'm not saying this is the number. We don't know the number. We're going to work it out. If that's a nickel, then we count 1 nickel, 2 nickel, 3 nickel, 4 nickel. When we finish counting, that's what N represents, the number of nickels. And of course, that little circles that we just saw, that's I just made up. I'm not saying that's the number we're looking for. Same thing with Q. If we lined up all the quarters and counted how many, 1 quarter, 2 quarter, 3 quarter, whatever it is, that's what Q represents. It's the number of each coins. From that, we can now derive two equations. The number of coins, you see, is the number of nickels plus the number of quarters equals 29. We were told there are 29 coins. Okay, that's the number of coins. Now the value of the coins is the value of the nickels plus the value of the quarters. The value of the nickels is 5 times N. Think of it this way. If there were 7 nickels, the value would be 7 times 5 cents. If there were 11 nickels, it would be 11 times 5. So if there's N nickels, it's 5 times N, or N times 5. The number of nickels times 5, except we don't know what N is, so we call it N. Same is true for the number of quarters. I'm going to make up a number now. If there were 4 quarters, the value would be 4 times 25. If there are Q quarters, the value is Q times 25. Same thing, except we don't know what the number, so we put a Q. So the value of all the nickels plus the value of all the quarters is $4.45 or 445 cents. $4.45 or 445 cents. That's what they told us here. So what I did is I just rewrote these two equations. I should have put this equal sign above, directly above that. It's not that it's wrong. It would be easier to understand. There's my equation, two equations. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this top equation and multiply it by 5. I always say in algebra, every step, there's always two concepts. It has to be true and it has to be helpful. I said that if left equals right, 5 times left equals 5 times right. That is true. Think of, you've got 2 bowls of rice that are equal weight. And if each bowl, the amount of rice is multiplied by 5, their weights will still be equal. Same concept. Left equals right, 5 times left equals 5 times right. That's why it's true. And why it's helpful is the same number of N's in both these equations. It's because it helps us eliminate N's. If we eliminate a variable, it's easier to resolve. Now, if we have two equations, if left equals right and left equals right, left minus left equals right minus right. You see, that makes sense. They equal, therefore subtracting will still be the same. That equals 445, that equals 145. So subtracting them will be the same as subtracting 145 from 445. When 5n minus 5n disappears, we're left with 20q, 25q minus 5q. And 445 minus 145 equals 300. So 20Q equals 300. Now, once again, I want to do a step that's true and helpful. I'm going to divide each side by 20. That's true if left equals right. Left divided by 20 must equal right divided by 20. And it's helpful because it eliminates this 20 and isolates the Q. 20Q divided by 20 is just Q. 300 divided by 20 is 15. Q equals 15. We've solved for the number of quarters. And to find out the number of nickels, I take this equation. N plus Q equals 29. We know Q is 15, so N plus 15 equals 29. It's the same equation, but we know what Q is. And once again, if left equals right, left minus 15 equals right minus 15. To isolate the N, 29 minus 15 is 14. So we've got Q is 15, N is 14. We have 15 quarters and 14 nickels. That's absolutely correct. Now I'm just checking it. 15 quarters and 14 nickels. Number of coins is 15 plus 14 equals 29. Absolutely true. We start off with 29 coins. And their value, we said there are 15 quarters, 15 times 25, 14 nickels. Their value is 14 times 5. We do the arithmetic. We get 4.45, which is $4.45, which is absolutely true. Therefore, our answer, 15 quarters and 14 nickels, is correct. And thank you for watching.